What's really good, Wizards Nation? The Washington Wizards win their third win in a row, beating the Phoenix Suns at home 127 to 102, blowing them out. We're going to talk about it next. It's going to be short and sweet tonight. Next on Locked On Wizards.
You are Locked On Wizards, your daily Washington Wizards podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
What's up, y'all? It's your boy Brandon Scott again from Locked On Wizards. Rolling solo tonight. As you know, E has got the cold, man. So you're going to get the night off. So definitely in the comments, man, wish him to get well soon. Thank you for making the Locked On Wizards your first listen every day. We are free and available wherever you get your podcast. So, y'all, hey, third win in a row. Washington Wizards beat the Phoenix Suns at home 127 to 102, blowing them out. In this episode, we're going to talk about what I got out of the game, how we won the game. We're going to do a brief preview of Friday night's game against the Orlando Magic in Orlando. And then in the end, we're going to do some comments and we're going to chop it up a little bit. So let's get right into it, y'all. 127 to 102, we blow out the Phoenix Suns. Now, they had a lot of injuries. Devin Booker was out. Landry Shamet was out. A lot of people were out for Phoenix. We were without Bradley Beal dealing with a hamstring injury. But man, wow. What are my takeaways from this game? How did we win this game? There's two areas of this game where we won. Number one, defense. Since DeLon Wright has came back, we have our defensive leader back, and it shows. Defensively, we're a totally different team than we were a week ago, 2 weeks ago, even a month ago. We are a totally different team. If you look at the defensive stats tonight, 7 steals, 5 blocks. 3 of those blocks went to Daniel Gafford. We're going to talk about that lineup again, but man, I'm looking at the comments now. The Twin Towers, absolutely. This taller lineup is working and is working good. Points in the paint, 60 points in the paint. Ayton did get his points, but just like how we dealt with Joel Embiid, we let him do whatever he wanted, and we challenged everybody else to step up, and that strategy works. Like I said, DeAndre Ayton got his, but we control the paint. Gafford and KP, this tall lineup works, man. It works. They control the paint, and we're winning games. We're winning games in style. Now, I know they had their injuries, and Devin Booker didn't play, but still, this is a really good win against a team that has playoff aspirations, if not NBA title aspirations. So, a dub's a dub, y'all. So let's go over the starting lineup real quick. Monte Morris did have a pretty consistent stat line: 12 points, 6 rebounds, 8 assists. So he's really getting into his role as a distributor in this team, and it shows. He's really starting to grow into that role as distributor. Corey Kispert had an off-shoot night, 7 points, but he had good energy. He was cutting. So Kuz, 22 points. Now, efficiency-wise, he tends to shoot a lot of shots, but 22 points, 8 for 17 from the field, and shot 50% from 3. So, from 3-point, he was efficient. And really, if you look at it, 8 from 17, he's around – I'm not big in math, but he's around 50%. So, he gets his shots up, but he's going to playing at the 3. And that's what you want from Kuz. Now, a big shakeup with this tall lineup, Gafford played the 4 and KP played the 5. And if you look at their stats, outside of the 3 blocks for Gafford, 14 points, 8 rebounds. So Gafford, man, the energy, he's playing well in his role, whether it's the 4 or the 5, but his tall lineup is working, y'all. It is definitely working. This tall lineup, this is a completely different team. This team looks good. 3 games in a row. So KP, 24.7 rebounds. KP looked good tonight. So the solid 3, as far as the starting lineup, did their job, making up for the loss of Bradley Beal not playing tonight. Now, as we get into the bench a little bit, one name that was absent tonight was Will Barton. As you know, Will Barton, it is, he collected another DNP, and it seems like he is now outside the rotation. So whether he's being shopped around for a trade, because, hey, look, the trade deadline is coming faster than you think, y'all. They're obviously trying to get that contract off. Well, really, they don't need to because it's expiring anyways. And with him struggling, who's really going to pick up that contract anyways? So, he's out the rotation, and it's not without good reason because he struggled. He struggled a lot this season, and it is what it is. Looking at the bench, Denny, defense was on point. He hit that contested 3 at the buzzer. 8 points, 5 rebounds, 3 from 5 from the field, 1 from 3 from 3. So didn't shoot a lot, but he was efficient when he did. Taj came in. What does Drew Gruden call him? Old and ready, and he was, man. He came in, he showed energy, 7 points. Delon, he played 15 minutes. They're kind of bringing him up in as far as his minutes, so he's not gonna play a lot right now, but they're ramping him up. But you saw energy, you saw a lot of defensive energy, but 3 points. But Rue, let's talk about Rue, y'all. Wow, 28 points, 11 from 13 from the field, 1 for 2 from 3. Now, this front office has some hard decisions to make. I mean, really, as a fan, do you really want to move Rui? I mean, he's playing well. He's playing well. You can argue that he should be a 6 man of the year candidate because his points, his effort, you know, his energy off the bench is well needed. And this is a completely different team when he is scoring at a high level, playing at a high level. So, with them saying that they like Kuz to stay here long term, even though Kuz, now we haven't heard it out of Kuz's mouth that he wants to roll. Now, obviously, with him being in fashion and him having, kind of things off the court, going to a bigger market makes sense for him, but he hasn't yet said himself that, he officially wants to go. So that it's hard decisions. With Kuz and with him being a fan favorite and with his production, with Rui and his production, who do you pay? So that's the question for y'all tonight. Who do you pay? If you are Tommy Shepard, who do you pay? Do you pay Kuz or do you pay Rui? Because honestly, do you feel comfortable going to the luxury paying both? I don't know. So who would you guys pay? Would you pay Rui or would you pay Kuz to stay in DC? So again, we're gonna go over team stats and then do an ad and then we're gonna roll. Field goal percentage, we shot 57%, 3-point 30. We're not a good 3-point shooting team, or we're not very consistent. So, it is what it is. Free throws, better this time, 25 from 28. So we're being more efficient at the free throw line. Rebounds, 46, 12 offensive, assists, 28, 60 points in the paint, and 13 turnovers. So we were efficient on both ends of the court. Now, 13 turnovers, we've had our issues with turnovers, but we're showing that up. So that is my takeaway from this game. Man, beautiful win, y'all. Beautiful win. I know E wanted to come on, but he would sound like Sashmo, so it's all good, man. We're gonna give him that rest, but I know he is happy tonight because this is a much needed win. We blew them out at home, and it feels good to see this team do that. So before we move on to a slight preview of the Orlando Magic and doing some questions and chopping it up real quick, tonight's episode is brought to you by Rocket Money. Say goodbye to last year's outdated, disorganized methods of managing money and say hello to Rocket Money, the better way to hack your finances in 2023. Rocket Money, formerly known as Truebill, is a personal finance app that finds and cancels your unwanted subscriptions, monitors your spending, and helps you lower your bills all in one place. Over 80% of people have subscriptions they forgot about, like that streaming service you bought just to watch that one show on. That's me and Fox, man. Or that free trial that you never even use. Rocket Money will quickly and easily identify your subscriptions for you so you can stop paying for the ones you don't want. Rocket Money makes canceling subscriptions as easy as a click of a button. Simply find the subscription you don't want and press cancel. It's that easy. And Rocket Money will cancel it for you. No more long hold times with customer service or tedious emailing back and forth. Over 3 million people have used Rocket Money, saving an average person up to $720 a year. Good God. Stop throwing your money away. Cancel unwanted subscriptions and manage your expenses the easy way by going to rocketmoney.com/lockedonnba. That's rocketmoney.com/lockedonnba. rocketmoney.com/lockedonnba, y'all. Thank you for making Locked On Wizards every day. Make sure you Locked On Sports Today. The biggest stories around the sports world in 20 minutes or less. Plus instant reactions, game recaps, and Locked On's Take of the Day. Locked On Sports Today, available on YouTube or wherever you get podcasts. So we're going to go right into a preview. Now, Orlando. We go on the road Friday night at 7 o'clock. Orlando, they are a young team that, if you look at our record and we look at their record, we're kind of around the same area of, kind of being a playing team and kind of leaning towards a lottery team. But for the Wizards, man, what can you say? They look good. 3 games in a row against legit playoff teams. Now, I get there's injuries, but you know what? Look, injuries happen. Every team in the NBA deals with injuries, so it's very rare to play a complete lineup that was set up in off season. There's going to be injuries. So I'm gonna take this win, man. I'm gonna take this win. But sliding over to Orlando, my keys to victory. Um, I'm gonna keep it real with y'all. I want us to keep doing what we're doing, and that would be my keys to victory to beat most of these teams, man. Till they give me another reason to change it up. Ball movement, man. We have been lovely, beautiful with ball movement. This team, when they pass the ball, when they play as a team, it's beautiful, man. It's beautiful. So one key, keep the ball movement going. Offensively, push the pace. When we push the pace, we're catching defenses off guard. This is a beautiful team to watch when ball movement and team basketball happens, man. When we play as a team, we win as a team. Controlling the paint again. That's going to be my key to victory, too. They got some bigs who can play. Bow's having a pretty good year. I want to see Gaff and KP and Taj control the paint. Hold on to the paint. Lock it down. The paint is our territory. They call Gaff the landlord. Look, shut it down, man. You shut down the paint. I want to see the paint locked down. And, man, I'm a key to victory to me would be rotations with Wes. How does he rotate against Orlando? Because Orlando's a young team with a lot of pieces, with guys who can play multiple positions. Jalen Suggs can play the one of the two. Cole Anthony can play the one of the two. Don't forget about Markel Fultz. So you have a lot of young guys on this Orlando team. Is it a very winnable game? Absolutely. I before I even go into my prediction and score, I'm gonna tell you it's a winnable game that I expect us to win. I really think we can go into Orlando and knock them in the mouth real quick and come back. So that would be my 3 keys to victory. So before we move on to player of the game, defensive player of the game, and my predictions for Orlando and chopping it up on the message board tonight, tonight's episode is brought to you by, oh man, and man, what's that? All right, no ad tonight, but let's see. We're gonna go ahead and move on. Slight bug in the computer, so we're gonna move on real quick to player of the game. All right. Who is the player of the game? Man, I tell you, I'm gonna give it to Rui, man. I'm gonna give it to Rui. I believe that Rui, 28 points. If you look at him from the field, 11 for 13, and shooting 50% from the 3-point. I mean, what can you say to that? I mean, led all scorers. His energy, his scoring off the bench, it's been incredible, man. It has been incredible. He has been a central figure in us winning 3 in a row. So I'm going to roll with player of the game is going to be Rui Hachimura. Definitely appreciate the effort tonight. Defensive player of the game, I'm giving it to KP and Gaff. KP and Gaff with the blocks, with the defense, they shut down. Now, I get it. You're going to say DeAndre Ayton did his thing. But, I mean, we use the same strategy we did against Joel Embiid. He's going to get his, and especially with a lineup where you don't have Devin Booker. Mikal Bridges can shoot. He's a 3-and-D guy who can shoot, but he's not going to be the scoring guy who's going to ebb games. And the same thing with Chris Paul. He's a floor general, but, in this stage of his career, he's not going to influence games like that. So a lot of your scoring responsibility fell on Ayton, and he got his. But overall, they tried. They tried to come in the paint, and there was blocks. We shut it down. So the defensive belt is going to be a co-belt tonight. It's going to KP and Gaff. So my predictions real quick for Orlando. Man, I think this is a very winnable game. Right now, Bradley Beal is day-to-day, so we don't know whether he's going to play or not, but I'm not too concerned because the 2 out of the 3 solid 3 have done well, man. They've really made up for the loss of Beal. So I'm going to give it another blowout, man. I'm going to give it 120-98. We blow them out. We're going to go into Orlando. We're going to knock them in the mouth, and we're going to call it a day or a night, really. So that's my predictions, man. I think this is a very winnable game, y'all. Go ahead. Definitely let me know what you guys think. And we are going to slide right into comments, man. We're going to do about 5 to 7 comments. I know I say that every time, man, but I like talking to y'all, man. So we definitely going to get in tonight. So let's see. Siva, what's going on? I think DW is a talented and smart point guard, and he deserves a start in the open lineup. Morris and Goodwin should be in the second unit. I think when he ramps up to when he's ready for starting minutes, I completely agree. I think defensively, this is a very good defensive team when he's in the lineup. So I totally agree. I think DeLon Wright, when he ramps himself up to 25 minutes to 30 minutes, the starting minutes, they should definitely start him. Monte, I think, playing, I'm not going to call him a floor general by any means, but he has done well getting into the role of distributing the ball. I mean, 8 assists, he's really getting into that role. So, but I think defensive wise, I mean, it shows there's a lot of chemistry with the line in the lineup. So I definitely agree. Red Wings, what's going on, man? How you doing? Man, we have missed DeLon's defense and Rui scoring. That made a difference. Absolutely. Those are the two factors that make this a different team. Rui scoring off the bench and DeLon's defense. You hit the nail on the head. Michael Water, what's going on? Yo, guys, I picked up Rui for fantasy last minute, and damn, did I luck out. I didn't really feel DeLon right hype train until this game. Go Wiz. I know I gave up on you last week, but we good now. You know, man, it's how do I say this? It's kind of like politics, man. We all got our opinions of this team, but we need to come together because we're Wiz Nation. I know there's a lot of you that want to tank. I know there's a lot of you that want to stay in pat and try to build around Bill, but you know, you're gonna be happy when we win, and you're gonna be sad when you lose, just like any other fan base. And I think we can agree that it's exciting to see this team full strength winning. Now, long term, there's a whole nother conversation whether what we need to do long term, and there's a lot of factors that go into that, especially going around the deadline. But one thing we can all agree on is it's beautiful music to see this team at full strength playing so well. And we're nearly full strength because I know Bill's out, but this team when they play the team is a really nice team to watch. I mean, I enjoy watching them. So yeah, I get it. It's easy, especially if you look at the history of the franchise. We look, we haven't won an NBA title since the 70s. We've had our eras where there's the Gilbert Arenas era, John Wall era, and we've had our playoff teams. But I know as a fan base, we're hungry for a championship, and I get that. So it just is patience, man. I get it. That's a hard thing to learn. Let me tell you, man. So I get it. Getting in these comments, Matt, you hit the nail on the head, man. What's going on, Matt? I'm not even mad that we probably going to be at a playing team. Yeah. I enjoy it when we play team basketball and the results showed today and yesterday. Yeah, and that kind of goes in line with what I was just talking about, man. Long term, there's a lot of questions, there's a lot of uncertainty, but watching them play team basketball and really winning as a team is beautiful, man. It really is. It's good to see them play as a team because they're a good team that has a lot of talent. They like each other. It's not like last season when you had a mixture of young guys who were fighting for playing time, and you had veterans who either were trying to get paid or trying to earn playing time, or they felt like they were entitled to a certain amount of minutes. It's not like that this season. When people know the roles and they play those roles, this is a good team to watch. So I definitely agree. Benz, what's going on? Rui is a beast. The fact that we wanted to trade him for Crowder is a joke. We need to stop trying to get washed up vest for our young assets. Now, I was one of those people that thought that we should acquire Jay Crowder, but I will agree that Rui for Jay Crowder, yeah, in hindsight, it wouldn't have been a good trade because Rui shows how much of a 3-level scorer he is. Now, the sky's the limit if he can add consistent defense. That's my only knock. But him as a scorer, to me, he has to be in the discussions as far as 6-man of the year because, what are if you think about it, what are the factors for 6-man of the year? It's kind of like a lesser MVP to a certain degree because this second unit this team without his scoring benching or bench scoring, excuse me, it makes a difference. And that to me, that is a catalyst for 6-man of the year. You take his scoring off his team, it makes a difference and it shows. So to me, he has to be in that discussion. But Rui, man, I mean, 28 points, he led all scorers, and he is doing what he has to do to get that bag. So, again, that is a choice. It's gonna be hard for Tommy Shepard. Now, if Kuz does walk, I am starting to feel a lot more comfortable leaving the 4 position or the 3 position to Rui Hachimura. I really am. So I totally agree. Benz again, showing love tonight. That's that rim protection we need from Gafford every game. Absolutely. His knock has always been staying out of foul trouble, but he can lock down the paint. He can the rim protection from Daniel Gafford is real, man. He can defend the paint, and that's why this tall lineup with him and KP anchoring the paint, man. We're winning. We're winning against good teams, man. Sacramento is a team that, yes, they are playing above their expectations, but they are a fringe playoff team. You look at the 76ers. That's a team you want to beat in the East. You look at Phoenix. That's a team you need to beat. So we're winning the games we need to beat. So I think that just like I was talking about Rui and whether I am comfortable with him being the guy next year if we don't have Kuz. Yeah. And I'm also comfortable with Daniel Gafford with that extension because to me, he has responded. He really has. So let's get into some more comments, man. Let's get it. Let's get it. More, Michael Corpus, what's going on, man? How you doing tonight? Great team win. If we continue to win games with this roster, I believe they'll be in the dark horse in the East. Ooh, I don't know, man. Man, that's a tough one. I I'm in the gray with this one. I'm gonna tell you why, man. Because I agree, but I don't. I think the biggest thing with this team is consistency. Consistency. And with us getting everybody back, we have more room to be consistent. Now, Brad being out, it's a hit. I know there's people that hate on Brad, and take the contract out of it. Bradley Bick is still scoring his league. He's still, until proven otherwise, or until he's moved, or whatever the case may be, is still a franchise guy. So we do miss him, but Kuz and KP have done a good job filling that void. So dark horse, I think we're a move away, man. I think we're a move away from really being a dark horse. I agree, and I agreed in the offseason, but we do have our limitations. But when we play team basketball, we can be a dark horse. So, but I do think we're a move away. I do think we're a move away. Chump, what's up? We trading Rui still? Bet Suns wish they had Rui now. Yeah, you think? I mean, Rui, man, he's responded. Man, they lit a fire on the Rui, man. He is none too pleased with that. Let me tell you. We're gonna do 2, 3, maybe, man, because I enjoy talking to y'all, man. I enjoy chopping it up on here, man. Let's see. Z Jam 1215. What's good? I like Kuz, but I can't see him staying or wanting to stay in DC. I pay Rui all day and let's see his potential. I like that. I'm with it. I don't see Kuz staying long term either. I know he's a fan favorite, but his off the court ambitions, in fashion, and him in the bright lights of LA or whatever big market team and really competing for a championship, I think is where he's at. I think he does appreciate DC giving him that platform, that chance to really show him being a complete player, and I think he's going to be appreciative of that. And I think that's why he hasn't came out and he's really being kind of quiet about his ambitions, because I think he is appreciative for coming to the DC and showcase himself. Because I mean, he himself built his value up. He went from a role guy who, with his hair dyed and the immaturity in LA, to being a guy who is counted on to be a leader in the locker room, and a guy who is grown into a complete player. So I, for one, want to see him stay, but I don't see it. And I don't see the Wizards paying both Rui and Kuz, especially when there's uncertainty with KP's contract. I don't see it, and I don't see Ted Leonsis going to the luxury for those guys, man. So I agree, man. Let's see. Shout out to the real Ed Oliver. What's going on, man? Hope you're feeling better, brother. Good win. Rui was cooking. Getting my voice back soon, man. Hey, we understand Louis Armstrong. We get it, man. But nah, man. We definitely missing you tonight, man. Let's see. Oh man, let's get Woke Queen. Are Wizards front officers on drugs for offering Rui for Crowder? Crowder is the same player that is sitting out because he lost his starting position to Cam. Yeah. And I think there were people saying that. It's like, why are you sitting out, man? It's not like you're Kevin Durant here. You're sitting out. Jay Crowder, he has proven to be a veteran presence in most locker rooms. He's a 3-and-D guy who, from his days in Boston, gave us a lot of headaches. He showed a lot of leadership in Memphis when he was there. List goes on. He's been on a lot of teams. Dallas, the list goes on. He's a veteran presence that you want on a young team. But it's at this stage, and with Rui showing out, I'm not comfortable with that trade. Now, there was a report that they didn't want Rui, they wanted Denny. Now, I would have to, if you throw a first-round pick, I would have to listen to that offer, man. Now, I do like Denny Avia, but he's not a complete player. He's not a finished product per se at all. He's got to work on his shot. He hit that shot tonight, but that was that was a Hail Mary, man. That was so. He's definitely got to work on a consistent jump shot, and he's really trying to get more aggressive in the paint. His vision shows his defense, so he would be a hot commodity, but within the reins of a project. I hate to call him that, but that's what he is. He's not a finished product. So yeah, I don't know why. I think it maybe, that's the thing. It's tough as from a fan's perspective to really have an opinion on a lot of things, because the media aspect and the team aspect. Teams aren't going to tell you everything about a potential move. I think it was a filling out trade. See where the Suns' head was at as far as what they want. But I don't think that was a final offer because in hindsight, it was like, yeah, nobody makes that move. Not most people aren't making that move. So, yeah, it's tough to say what their expectations were out of that one. Shug, what's going on, man? We'll score 120 points. All chat gets a free bus pass. Hey, man, it's good to see this team rocking, man. It's good to see the Wizards rocking, man. It 127, 102, man. Yeah, it's. I'm telling you, man. Champ, back at you, man. Rui killing brothers and sisters, killing no prisoners, man. Rui, look, that trade news lit a fire into him. It really did, and I think that to a certain degree, you may see him being that guy going forward because there's so much uncertainty with Kuz, man. On one hand, we have not heard from his mouth that he wants to leave, but we're not dumb. We know what his aspirations are, and there's money to be made. And when I'm talking about John Collins potentially coming in, me and E already touched on that. It's a lateral move, but again, I'm comfortable putting Rui to 3. Right now I'm comfortable putting Kuz to 3. We have a lot of capabilities with this roster where we can play guys here and there, and that is a big strength for this team. So I'm gonna do 2 more. I know I've been saying that, man, but like I said, I love chopping it up with y'all, man. So we're gonna do 2 more comments. Let's see. Oh man, Chip, you ain't right, man. Leave Brad Bill and the doctors. You ain't right, man. Bradley Bill. Man, we're missing him. I mean, he's still look. I get it. He's overpaid. I get it. Elephant in the room. He is overpaid. I get it. But he is still a scorer in his league. I for one am guilty for being very hard on Bradley Bill. I get that. And what's on sale. I keep it real. Y'all know how I roll. I keep it real. But Bradley Bill is still a legit scorer in his league. Now, whether it's going to be here long term on another team, I think we're going to feel him. You can point at the fact that we do play better without him, but it's just one of those things where it's better to have him and not need him than to need him and not have him type deal. You know what I'm saying? And Bradley Bill is still a central part of this team, and I get it. I'm one of those guys that thought that we should have traded him years ago, and I get all that, but I still think he's very important to this team. I really do. And I know y'all think I'm lying, but I'm telling the truth, y'all. I'm telling the truth. One more. Let's see. A lot of comments, man. I appreciate y'all tonight, man. Appreciate everybody showing up, showing me some love, man. We're definitely gonna do a mailbag, man. Because like I said, we enjoy talking to y'all. We enjoy the comments and chopping up with y'all. And we can't hit every comment, and I feel bad, man, because I'll go over it afterwards and say, oh man, I missed them out. So we're definitely gonna start doing a lot more mailbags. So let's get one more. Young Chuan. I'm sorry if I messed your name up, man. Can't believe they think Jay Crowder is better than Rui. Laugh out loud. The Suns wish they turned back time. I don't know if it was they thought he was better. It's just Jay Crowder wants to go, and we need a 3D guy, and Rui going in as a restricted free agent now. With the way things are going, you could see Kuz going now because just with the uncertainty and with Rui playing the way he is, it's just like I said, there's a lot of questions, and we're getting close to the deadline, but we right now don't know where they're at as far as what the front office is trying to do going forward. There's a lot of rumors. John Collins coming over, Kuz to Phoenix, Rui. So, but I do believe within the next 2 to 4 weeks we are going to get an accurate picture because we are getting close to the deadline. So, I'm gonna do some comments for love for Ed tonight, man. He ain't feeling too well, man. Chimp said, "Peace and love, Papa Ed." Yes, sir. Absolutely. We hope Ed gets better, man. Always something going around, man. I'm telling you. And it's been cold in the DMV, man. Sugar said, Ed, rest that voice up for Sunday, man. Absolutely. So we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up there, guys. I want to thank everybody again for showing some love for me, rolling solo tonight, showing Ed love, man. Celebrating this dub. Let's keep it rolling. Like I said, Friday night, we are in Orlando, the land of Disney, against the Orlando Magic, 7 o'clock. So definitely show out. I think it's a very winnable game. We'll show some love to the team. Thank you for making Locked On Wizards your first listen today. Now make Locked On Sports Today your second listen. Peter Bukowski brings you the biggest stories from around the sports world in 20 minutes. Get the analysis and opinions before anyone else with our local and national experts and insiders. Locked On Sports Today podcast available on YouTube, wherever you get podcasts. Now on YouTube, we are close to 3,000 subscribers. So definitely like, subscribe, comment. Let's try to get it up to 3 Gs. me and my dude, the real Ed Oliver, on Twitter and Instagram. So definitely show some love. We like to talk football, Commanders football, that is, basketball all day, and especially game days. We chop it up with y'all and talk. So definitely show us some love. So again, everybody, definitely appreciate y'all. Get this dub tonight. Get the dub tonight. 3 in a row. We just keep it moving in Orlando Friday night. So again, hope everybody have a blessed night and peace.